I'm going to show you some examples of how tool tethers end up being attached with tools on a person. Now, this is for example only, just so we can do it at a trade fair. So this is not how you would probably look. But tool lanyards like this are your typical coil lanyards. And if you can imagine having a tool on it, this is what we talk about when we talk about the entanglement issue. So this lanyard is about half as long as some lanyards because of its stretch factor. So you can see that the coil is not too big, but if you have a lot of these on here, you can end up with an entanglement issue. This is an attachment point that we're putting on a belt. Since this belt might not have places to attach to, this allows you to loop and put a load ring onto the belt. You can hook as many lanyards in here as you feel comfortable. There's no really restrictions on the marketplace right now because you're not dropping all these tools at one time. A couple things about the Carabiners. I explained earlier about Carabiners that don't get caught up. They're easy to put on and easy to take off. Now, the drops program is saying that you should have locking gate Carabiners like this. And the reason behind that is sometimes these type of Carabiners could hang up, so you could actually put them on and not have this closed. One other thing about any kind of snap clip Carabiner is that if you do twist it right, you can actually twist that right off. Now, you almost have to try to do that, but that is something that can happen with it. So depending on how secure you need your lanyards, there could be a reason why you would say, I want a locking gate Carabiner. We do the locking gates with a screw lock, and there is automatic locking devices out there. But the reason we do this is for the person who wants ultimate safety. It requires the worker to actually close the gate. You know that it's closed. Sometimes when you have the twist automatic close type systems, they don't work foolproof. We're not talking about a fall protection grade Carabiner, we're talking about a load grade rated Carabiner. So we feel this gives a very secure attachment. It requires the worker to close it, but when he does close it, he knows that it's attached securely. Coming over here is some examples of retractable lanyards. So depending on how you have your tool belt configured, I can have two lanyards with no looping like I did when I had these type of coils. So that's how the retractable can minimize entanglement issues. So I can simply pull this tool out, use it, put it back. Here we have a tape measure retractor, and this is something that, yes, I can use a coil like this, but in a lot of cases this tape measure could be used by an inspector and not a person doing the technical work. So this gives you a low profile type setup where I have this on my belt and I don't have a big area where this is getting caught or things to dangle. So I could use the same product in plain clothes without a tool bag. Okay, here's a common application with a hammer, and you can see what we talk about, the dangle length of the coil type lanyard. If you only have one thing in this area, it's not a big deal. I can pull this out, use it, put it away. But again, the more of these you hang on, the more entanglement issues you get. So if we go upwards, here is another application, hard hat lanyards. This is another item that can drop. It's not as heavy as a tool, but they do drop and cause injuries. What I'm showing here is two different hard hat lanyards. This is a strap, which is very common on the marketplace. We also do a retractable, and what the retractable does is it gives you a lower profile, but you still have the ability to have some movement with it. If you want to take it off, it does extend. Everything we try to do is to provide a low profile so you don't get caught up on it, but there's two different versions of how to do things. If we pan around to the front, show you a couple other things, you just have to think about everything that can drop. Radios, cell phones, anything that you drop at heights can be dangerous. So we're not just talking about the tools, but we're talking about anything you can carry up to heights, whether it's a hard hat, a tool, a radio, a cell phone. Anything that drops can cause injury.